This right here, girl, is an ad. I'm going to need you to get you some of this Just Move Energy supplement so you can have the energy to get your workouts done like I need to get mine done, girl. It is sometimes a struggle and you need a little extra. Plus the protein shakes. I don't have an appetite a lot of the time. Protein shakes really help me after the workout because I do not want to be on the massage table with my stomach growling because that's where I'm going after this, okay? So I get my protein shake done before, boom, I got both of them. I'm ready. Okay, I'm getting old. My knees is a problem. Do you see me warming it up? Do you see me trying to stretch it out? That's 35 pounds. I'm squatting 35 pounds. I'm proud. You can get those gloves and other workout gear from TeamLASHAE.com. The link is down below in the description box, girl. Yes. Girl, I have to give it to myself. You look good, girl. You look good. Juvie. I just had to put him in here because he's cute. I'm on my way to the spa, girl. Piece of serenity. My homegirl does not want to be seen, but she does the best massages. I go to her at least once a week for this muscle situation, girl. And she also gave me this massage cream with CBD in it that really helps with my aches and my pain. So get you some. All of this. Get you some. 15% off with my Relax Me Bondi code. Okay, girl? Get it. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Not come on in. Not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey, everybody. What's up? It's your girl, BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey, everybody. What's up? It's your girl, BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram. And let's get into the video. Right?
Hi. Hey, everybody. I'm so sorry for the confusion in time. I swear to God, I thought I had set this for 2. And then when I realized I wasn't going to be ready until 2:30 and I get on there and see that they say 1 o'clock. Girl, I didn't even know. The way I have been having to delete and re-upload things lately with YouTube, girl, it's a headache. Girl, okay, when I tell you I need more I need another job, child. Another job. Okay, is how I feel. Okay. Because even though YouTube might be better than some of the other platforms, child, when they want to play with your check, they have found a way to play with your check. Like it is something else, child. I'm gonna tell you the truth. So thank you everybody for patiently waiting. Thank you for coming back. If you have come back to the live, thank you so much, Sonia Matthews, for the super sticker. I appreciate you so much, love. Okay, I appreciate everybody for coming through. I'm gonna give y'all a moment to gather in the comments. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a moment to gather. All right. Girl, it's that energy supplement mixed with coconut LaCroix water. Child, crack. Okay, but good for you. Okay. Hey, Lisa, taking a mental health break, but I came to say, hey, all right, girl. You know what I'm saying? You got to take a break from social media sometimes. I understand. Okay. But you know, that's why a lot of times I consider myself more entertainment than a blogger. Like I don't really care that much about y'all business like that. I know it seemed like I do, but I don't really care that much about y'all business like that. I just like talking about it and creating entertaining commentary based on it. That's really all I'm, here to do. But, beyond that, girl, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If I care that much, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, make sure that y'all are following my website, BondyBlueShow.com. You don't have to pay if you don't want to. You can just be a member of the site. And all of these lives are available on the site. If you go to the top of my site, it says the shows. It says exclusive content. Go there. All of these lives are being sent there. So if this one disappears because YouTube decides to flag it and I have to take it down and all of this other shit, just know it's over there on my website, girl. Okay, don't forget the website, Okay, don't forget about it because you never know. Last year, BondyBlue went poof, you know what I'm saying, off the internet, never to be seen for 4-5 days. Okay. Child, not really, because I had another backup YouTube channel because I had planned for things like that. But you know, it was traumatic. Okay, so do me a favor and just make sure that you are also over there on my website. So if anything ever happens, you don't lose contact with me, okay? Because I can always just go live from my website, okay? But yeah, I hope everybody is having a good day. Y'all know I'm here to get y'all through y'all work day with some reality TV show bullshit that y'all may or may not care about, okay? But I appreciate y'all coming through nonetheless. Now, y'all know I did a video yesterday just so everybody is clear on who drop kick who. Shout out to Roxanne. Okay, hold up, y'all. I'm actually about to pull up my own page so y'all can see the shit, okay? So y'all can see what's available for y'all to watch on YouTube, okay? All right, so here this is us right here. We're live right now. See us, okay? Now, yesterday, this live right here had to be taken down because they flagged it, okay? It had 5,000 views already when I took it down. 18 hours later, the re-upload is just now getting to that point, okay? Same thing for Life After Lockup. I don't know if y'all saw I did Life After Lockup episodes 4 and 5. I have not felt like watching that show every week. So I do a show every 2 weeks that covers 2 of the episodes kind of as a prelude to whatever else I'm doing that day. I talked to y'all about Tammy's new show, House of Vicious. I'm going to be reviewing that, but I don't have anything else scripted right now that I want to talk about to add it to. So it'll probably get added to a BondyBlue show moving forward. And then of course, y'all know that was Weekends on Sunday that I did, where we talked about Ready to Love, Bell Collective, all of that. There was also a Black In Crew Love and Hip Hop episode last week, and I'm gonna have a new one probably tomorrow. Tomorrow is what, Wednesday? Yeah, I'll probably have a new one for y'all tomorrow. And of course, if y'all miss Now That We're Grown, Baby Boy, and Now That We're Grown, Boomerang. Come on now. All right, y'all, they flagged this live, so I cut up pieces for y'all if y'all had not seen some of these videos. And I have been trying to remember to do that for y'all. It's just hard sometimes. But yeah, this is the page. When you come to the page, you see all that has happened, all that has transpired, okay, on my channel. Just so we're clear, okay? Oh, look. All right. 230 of y'all are here. Do me a favor, like the video. Do me a favor, like the video. All right. And let's go ahead and get our Housewives of Dubai because it was the last episode of the season before we get into the reunion, girl. Okay. So, Miss Lillian the Goat had a funeral. Okay, it was very sad. Apparently, the goat that Ayan gifted Lisa and her children passed away from eating fertilizer that was on the grass. Okay, but Lisa wanted it to be fun for the kids. She didn't want it to be sad for them, so it was more of a celebration. Okay, Ayan and her family came over to join them, and they have a little conversation about how weird it is that Nina was the main one talking cash money about Stansbury. But now she and Stansbury are like this. Okay, what's that about? Caroline Brooks, once again, having an uncomfortable, choppy conversation with her ex-husband. This time, their son Adam is there, and they're talking about the son being bullied on a Zoom call. And I really wanted to know if it was racially motivated because y'all love to get up here and act like Dubai is so safe for the black boys. But then you tell us, that your son is being bullied. And I'm wondering if he's being bullied because he is, biracial. Okay, and I know we have not heard that from Lisa's children, but Lisa's children are younger. And on top of that, there are 3 of them. Okay, so it's almost like if you try to bully one, you bullying all 3. And I don't think most people want to deal with that. So, Nina's sons will probably maybe have a different experience because it's all of them so close together in age. So they'll be going to the same school at the same time. And, do you want to get jumped by all of the brothers? You know what I'm saying? But yes, I was wondering if Adam was being bullied because he was biracial. But anyway, they talk about his the ex-husband's first or second wife that he was with when he came to Dubai the last time, before all of the, the buildings had arrived, because they're standing in front of the most uniquely, beautifully built apartment building that I've ever seen. I was just kind of looking at that apartment building like, can y'all stop looking at them and kind of just focus on this building that they standing in front of for a second? Because I just want to look at what's going on. It looks so different. Okay, so cool. I kind of want to see. But either way, it was conversation that led me to believe that no matter how you slice it, Caroline Brooks' ex-husband is misogynistic and toxic, and probably teaches her son misogynistic and toxic things, like mommy's a gold digger. She said 4 years ago, her son called her a gold digger. Now he stands before her saying that, daddy doesn't pick the best women all the time because he picks gold diggers. And he was like, yeah, that's not you, mommy. And it's like, well, didn't you already call your mama a gold digger? So that's exactly what you meant. Watch when he becomes a full-blown teenager and he doesn't want to, he wants to do something and she doesn't want to let him do it. Or she wants to punish him for something. Watch, all of a sudden she's going to be a gold digging bitch. Watch. All of those sacrifices, coddling and babying for Adam to grow up and disrespect you with the very shit your toxic ass husband was telling you. Like, to me, I just have a feeling that that's how that's probably going to play out. So, yeah. Okay. She reminds us that she left her husband with nothing. And because of her son, Adam, she has amassed all of her wealth. But then again, your new spa, your ex-husband and your ex-boyfriend are investors in helping you do that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it absolutely gives the vibe that, how is it that you couldn't depend on him when you left him, but you can depend on him financially now? Like, it just makes me feel like I can't trust what you're saying. Either way, her spa is about to open up and he tells her he can't keep working for nothing. He gonna expect a check at some point. And I was just kind of like, girl, I really wish we could stop having conversations with your ex-husband, because they always feel, teetering on problematic. Okay. So Caroline Stansberry and Sergio go to the doctor so that they can freeze her eggs, since she could only do it once she was married in Dubai. She went through IVF with her twins. Her first little girl, I believe she had naturally. And then she had 2 miscarriages and had her twins through IVF. And now she's freezing her eggs so that she and Sergio can have a baby. They get 5 eggs to fertilize. Girl, that's all y'all got going on, huh? All right. So Ayan talks to her sister, and we find out that her sister also went through some type of therapy in order to deal with what they went through as children, being raised by an abusive father, probably growing up in, extreme poverty. Then a lot of women in a neighboring village, it was just all very terrible. And then Ayan and her sister talk about how her sister saved her from being sold by the father when he wanted to take her on a trip once, playing on her emotions to be loved by her father, also that he can sell her into marriage for money. Wow. You just, you hope there's a hell, you hope at some point there will be some type of justice towards people like that, because that's just terrible. I don't even know how to describe how absent of soul you have to be that cruel and derelict to your child. It's just very upsetting. But it is only by the Lord's grace that Ayan and her sister were able to rely on one another and now have an unbreakable bond, okay, of which they can rely on each other no matter what. And I love that for them. So the girls take a trip. Ayan opens up to the women about her circumcision and therapy and, what her therapist told her about imagining that she was cutting past pains or traumas out of a tree. So she decided to cut her father out of that tree. And it represented letting go. And it's so funny because she thinks about it like a tree and cutting pieces off the tree, branches off the tree, so those things will fall. For me, and I feel like everybody should get this. Everybody should have some type of visualization in their mind where they can allow themselves to step away from a problem or step away from a trauma that is plaguing them. for me, I have like a lot of anxiety about things I can't control a lot of the times. So in my mind, I remember one day thinking about an issue or a problem that I was having, like I was pushing myself away from the table. You know how when you're done eating and you had enough, you push yourself away from the table and now you're done with it? Like in my mind, that's how I would visualize letting something go that I couldn't control, or letting go of my anger, or whatever mentally or emotionally was bothering me, and there was nothing I can do about it. So it was time to let it go, even though my mind and my body may want to keep recycling the thoughts over and over again. I, in my mind, would envision myself stepping away from the problem in my mind, like literally pushing it away from me in my mind. And I feel like that's what Ayan was talking about when her therapist was saying cutting branches off of the tree in her mind so that she could let those things go. I feel like, people need real practice and real tactics to deal with their mental and emotional, because I think a lot of us have things inside of us that will build up, and you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know what to do with it. And sometimes you can lull it with things that harm you, and or react with anger instead of trying to calm yourself down, instead of trying to mentally control that flood that's happening inside of you. So I love the fact that Ayan talked about that, and it shows so much growth. And I just love the conversation because it was a moment that all of the women could understand Ayan a little bit better and also empathize with what she went through. Even Stansberry was like, I couldn't imagine, having children, that my child at 5 years old would go through something like that. And then Caroline Brooks at this point is drunk. And she's talking about how she wishes she was like Sarah because she's so nice and she genuinely wants the best for people and she's so not judgmental, And it's like, girl, we don't know. We don't know like why you're this drunk. And then we also don't understand whether you are like being honest or being facetious. Like there's a part of Caroline Brooks that feels like she will adamantly like have a passive aggressiveness about her, where it's like, I'm gonna say you're amazing and you're great and I really love you, but really I'm saying in my head I can't stand you and I wish I could strangle you without going to jail, but it's Dubai. Oh my god, you know what I'm saying? Like that's sometimes what her energy can give. So I never know what I'm getting. So then the girls take a ride on some camels, and that was hilarious because they put Brooks and Ayan on a camel together, and it was if they just couldn't get right on the damn camel, child. Like I was just like, oh my god. And then once they got right on the camel, child, it seemed as if some things would happen to their nether regions. Okay, vaginas were tingling. I'm sure. If you've ever ridden a horse, you can kind of understand how that can happen. Any type of like direction in that area, if your nether regions are sensitive enough, child. Okay, any type of situation like that can oh my god, what's going on here? But either way, it was fun. It seemed like all the girls had a really good time. They had a really good time. Then y'all, and this is what I love about Real Housewives of Dubai. I don't watch any of those other shows. I don't. Y'all know I watch the black ones, okay? And that's pretty much where I stop because I can't. You know what I'm saying? It's always racial. And on the other ones. So that's why I stick to the black ones, right? But the richness of Real Housewives of Dubai. Sarah has them in the middle of like a mountainous desert with like 1,000 candles lit on this huge rug. Everything is beautifully lit. There's all this, food that's from the mountains and from the mountain tribe that lives in the area, and they come and they dance and they bring the food, and there are all these different performances throughout the night that look amazing. Like I was just kind of sitting up there like, how can anybody argue in that setting? Like, oh my God, like the money it must cost to have something like that set up. It was beautiful. And I feel like most of the things, if not every single trip, every single event they've had has been on the next level. Okay? has been on the next level. Yes, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was the only one that I tried to give a chance to. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back next season. If I do, it'll probably be because of because of Meredith. But anyway, is that a name, child? Because it's been a minute and y'all know I'm quick to forget some shit. So what else happened? At some point we talk about Lisa and Stansberry not getting along. And this is really funny for me because I feel like I'm not going to give the idea that Lisa is overreacting. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I feel like Lisa is extremely astute. She's very smart. And she knows when somebody just doesn't like her for whatever reason. And I feel like at this point, we've just come to the understanding. That Caroline Stansberry is jealous of Lisa and Ayan. And probably Brooks a little bit, but more so, you are absolutely and without a doubt jealous of Lisa because Lisa is gorgeous. That's why. You wish you looked like her. Like, you really, really do. And it bothers you that you don't. And I really wish you would get that under control, like your jealousy because you're not the star of the show. And it's so obvious that was like a huge moment of contention for you, that you weren't the star of the show, and that, Ayan took over in a way, and Lisa is extremely beautiful and looks extremely beautiful next to your husband in comparison to yourself. Nobody would be thinking about these things if it were not for you, Caroline, because your insecurities, you wear them like a badge of honor. And then you talk and say things to Lisa that are completely out of pocket, that let us know that your main reason for having an issue is because you're looking at her and you can't fucking take it. You can't take it. She's impeccable and it bothers you so. It bothers you so. And normally you would be able to feel better by thinking about, she's poor, or she doesn't have as much money, or this and this and this and that, but you don't have anything like that, because not only is Lisa, has her own business, but her husband is young, her age, and rich, extremely rich. So both of them are extremely rich together. And then they have their beautiful children. And, she has her booming business. Like, there's nothing that you can say bad about Lisa. And because she handles herself very well. She has decorum. She throws cute, slick shade. And she doesn't act out of character. She's really like A+ for a housewife, if you ask me. And I think that Caroline can't fucking take it. Like, it bothers her so much, and you can tell. And I think at this point, Lisa recognizes that and just understands that we just don't have to get along. But when the conversation is brought up by Sarah, Lisa lets it be known that I feel like you talk about me. I feel like you and everybody questions about me and my husband and what we do for a living. And she says, I never called anybody she said, I never called anybody with the intention of solely speaking on you. It's like, you may be calling to have an overall conversation, but in your conversation, you're absolutely going to ask about this woman because you are trying to, in some way, find a negative that you can exploit. That's what you were doing. You were trying to find something about Lisa from anybody that you could find that you could use against Lisa, and you couldn't find anything. And I think that made you even more upset. But ultimately, Lisa is not going to do this with you. She said you're messy, and that's what it is. They don't have to get along. They also talk about how Stansberry blocked her on social media. And, it is what it is. Like, they don't need to follow each other. They don't need to see each other. And I especially think that if it bothers you so to see someone, then you don't need to follow them. So unfollow her. But and block her, whatever, because it doesn't even matter. Like, I'm sure she doesn't want to see your social media because, like, I'm going to just tell you, like, I need to go follow Sarah because I like Sarah. But, like, initially, like, I already follow Ayan and Lisa. And then I think I started following Brooks at the very beginning, of the show. Y'all know I'm gonna follow the black girls, like y'all know. And then I gotta wait and see how I feel about everybody else before I follow y'all. I mean, it took like damn near a whole, season and a half for me to follow Meredith on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Like she had to prove to me I wasn't gonna, find no tweets or nothing. And I'm sorry, but that's how black people be feeling. We can't just be out here liking people. It's not safe for us to be out here liking people. Because we don't know, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know how they feel about us, so we can't be out here liking everybody. That's just not how they work. But yeah, so anyway, outside of that negative conversation, there was a fire thrower, a belly dancer, and these other dancers that came out with these skirts that were beautifully lit. And so when you spin, you can see how big they were. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. You might get a message from Ig stating Sarah's account doesn't state accurate info. Oh, really? I wonder what that means. I wonder what does that mean? Okay, child. Why y'all gotta let us feel like Sarah might be, fugazi or something? But outside of that, Ayan has a new makeup line because she feels like everyone should be as beautiful as she is. Okay, girl, you better do it. And not Naomi Campbell calling to speak to her while they were taping the reunion, and Caroline Stansberry looking quite upset. Don't be 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 jealous. Don't do it to yourself, Stansberry. Don't do it to yourself. Girl. Anyway. Lisa got her kids a goldfish. Nina's dream house is almost done, and she got her an air fryer for her French fries. Oh my God. Sarah is working on her son's career as a comedian, and Stansberry's baby is on ice until Sergio takes sex education classes. So you mean to tell me that you went through all of this shit with the doctors just so you can put it on ice? Okay, Brooks is about to open her spa and she gonna bring her next ex-investor. I said, all right, girl, listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do in the patriarchy, okay? And if that means dating a man so that he can like you enough to invest in your business and then eventually breaking up with him and then him still investing in your business, well, at least, everyone knows the truth of the matter. Like, I don't feel like, I don't feel away. I don't feel away. It feels fraudish and frugazi when it comes to Sarah, but I don't want to think that. I don't want to think that. Sarah has been acting a fool over Ayan on Twitter. Oh my God. See, I can't. I thought. And see, now I can't. But you know what? Sarah still gives me L word vibes. It doesn't matter. Like it still is giving, girl. You should have been on the L word. But anyway, y'all, please like the video. We're about to move on to Married to Medicine. Okay, there are literally how many of us are going to be live at the same time? Child, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna be watching people when I look, I ain't gonna have a chance to watch them because as soon as I get off here, I gotta go watch something else that I'm supposed to be doing. Girl, it's a struggle. I appreciate everybody that came through. I know that y'all probably feel split down 3 ways right now. Okay, trying to see who's saying what when it comes to the merits of medicine. Okay, now can somebody tell me before we get into it? This wrong screenshot, child. I'm sorry, y'all. They all be kind of looking alike at one point or another. Let me get them off my screen, child, because I do not want to talk about them. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, y'all. Can somebody put in the Discord, if y'all can, this live that Contessa did? I believe there was a live that Contessa did. And put it in BBS stories for me. But apparently there was a live that Contessa did. And it caused a back and forth between she and Heavenly on Twitter. And I already know about that. Okay. Oh my God. Martell has been posting again today. I'm exhausted. Excuse me. Appreciate you, class act. Oh, look, I appreciate y'all. Contessa did not save it. Of course she didn't save it. Nobody else caught it? Nobody else cared to catch it? Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll just work from the tweets once we finish the review, girl. I was hoping that someone cared enough to catch it so I would be able to talk about it. But girl, I did not. You know what? I think I did. Oh, come on, Ransom with Ricardo. She's always on it. Ranting with Ricardo is always on. Ranting with Ricardo, let me tell you something, boo. I don't know what you're doing over there on your YouTube channel. Okay, but what I would like to tell you is that the way you post shit in my Discord, you need to go ahead and make you a little video putting all of the shit together. All right, just like you see Empress Radio do, the way you be on it, you need to be doing the same thing over there. Cause sometimes it's who gets it out there first. That's all it takes for you to gain the viewership is who put it out first. Okay. So, the way you just went and put that in the Discord like that, girl, please go ahead and start posting shit onto onto your YouTube. It ain't always gotta be commentary, girl. Sometimes just get these people shit and put you, a little video together real quick, real fast, and boom, bow, pow, girl. Okay. And then send me the damn link. Okay. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna go into all of that once I'm done talking about the episode. It really wasn't that much to talk about in the episode, so let's go ahead and get into it. So Anila talks to her husband about the trip. She was drunk the whole weekend. She tells him that Toya would swap with her so that she can have some of Kieran's long dong. And Kieran was just like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's fun. Kieran wants to talk about a list of rules for when her parents come and stay over because they're trying to decide if they want her parents to be there full time to help with the kids. And I'm just kind of like, please find someone else. Please find someone else. Or y'all need to get a maid. Y'all need to get a maid, and then y'all let the grandmama watch the children, okay? Because you need somebody in there wiping shit down with Clorox wipes. Because if Kieran has to put it in a damn ledger, okay, for them to sign, for the mama to wash her hands when she's cooking and dealing with food, that's nasty. I don't care whose mama it is. That's nasty. And Kieran, go ahead and get you a maid, love. Pay him extra, okay? Pay him extra so they can deal with your mother-in-law and so your house can be clean by the time you get home, okay? Matter of fact, I would tell the housekeeper to come later in the day so that she could clean up after the grandmama, okay? And so your house will be clean, probably by the time you come home, okay? Because this is ridiculous, okay? For you to have to tell this lady that she needs to wash her hands. I don't know what the hell is going on, okay? And the way they just drop the bags on the ground out in front of the house, just so careless and nasty. Charlie be reminding me of it. Y'all remember on what that was? Right? When they bought the barbecue place next to the Indian family that owned the donut shop, and it was nasty and dirty and flies and shit on his lip. Yeah, I don't know why, but that's what came to mind. They also makes me think about the Indian man that was on How High. I'ma just let it go because I know it's not all of y'all. Because Kieran is also Indian. It must be like a subset group of y'all that are nasty like that. Don't get me wrong. There's a subset group of black people like this too. But right now we on y'all. Okay, I'm just saying, everybody equal opportunity trifling. I don't want nobody, clipping me talking about my talking about the Indian community. Child, everybody got an ignorant subset group of people up in their ethnicity. Get out of my face with this. Okay? But if motherfuckers is putting y'all in movies, and then he gotta write it down on a piece of paper to tell you to wash your hands. I was like, Kieran, please get you a maid, love. Don't stress yourself out. You can afford it, okay? I would be like, Anila, you need to pay for a maid out of your money. The money you get, yeah. You need to make sure a maid is paid out of that, okay? Oh, girl. Toya's son was accused of stealing at a slumber party. They said it wasn't racial, but they tell him to judge who he's friends with more carefully, because whoever you're friends with, you can end up, catching flack for decisions that they make. And they chopped up the conversation in a way that made me think his friend might have done it and then blamed him for it. But outside of that, I also wanted to know, if it wasn't racial, what was the ethnicities going on? Because I was wondering what was going on. But when we first started the scene, it made me think about when Contessa's daughter said that, one of them was evil and one of them was good. I'm gonna let it go because it probably didn't happen like that. But either way, that conversation goes from being about, something happening with the other kids to Toya saying that's why she stayed home all these years, because she didn't want her kids being around weird ass people. And I'm like, ma'am, if you had let your kids go to that slumber party and you were home, the situation would have still taken place. You just would have been able to go and get your son that night. Okay, or whenever they called, you would have been able to go and swoop the babies up. Okay, but at the end of the day, they're going to come into contact with weird ass people, especially when you are in a certain tax bracket. You're gonna come into contact with people that have issues. Okay, that have problems, that always want to see the black kid as the problematic child. So yeah, Toya, you being home, you not being home. I don't know what that was about. I don't know why that turned into a shit on Eugene session because he's never home. Like, what is that about? Why did that have to turn into, you're never home? And how many times were you home when I was gone? What, once? Girl. Stop. Stop complaining about him not being there because he's at work. Stop doing that. I understand it is bothersome, but I just want you to understand that it's just a fact. And if you express to him it's an issue for you and he still doesn't change it, then please stop. Please stop complaining about it. Like, let it the fuck go. Okay? Just make sure you plan shit for when he off to make sure that he spends time with his kids. Every time he off, I would be like, oh, I planned something for you and the boys to do. Ain't nobody about to be out here watching you not spend as much time with the kids as you should because you fucking tired. Because a lot of you men do that. A lot of y'all work and then y'all get home and y'all be tired. And then, you kind of just let things fall by the wayside just out of being tired. And I get it. But I also understand where Toya's coming from. You're watching your kids not spend time with their father, but just because he's in a household, they see him every day. But it doesn't mean they're interacting with one another. It doesn't mean they're spending quality time with one another, So I understand what Toya was saying, but her delivery and the way she conflated the issues, I just was like, girl, what is going on right now? Heavenly goes to see Dr. Jackie about her menopause, and Dr. Jackie talks to her about getting this O shot. Child, listen, I already said, when my ass get old and go through menopause, if it's an issue, girl, I'm going to get it. Girl, if it's an issue, I'm going to get it. Because when I tell y'all ain't nobody about to take this from me, like, say what you want to, but your girl enjoys, I enjoy orgasms. I don't know about what everybody else doing with their life, okay? So I am not about to be out here, missing out on Mrs. Nasty time because of shoot me up, bitch. Numb me and shoot me. Matter of fact, numb me, give me a Xanax or some type of pill to calm my nerves down. Make it fucking happen, Captain. Here's your $2,500. I'll see you in 24 months. Okay? And I'm talking about when the time comes. I don't need it right now. I'm good. But I was all right. But sadly enough, Dr. Heavenly talked about her mom being in hospice care and how her health is going downhill. And so, we didn't really get to see as much of Heavenly when it came to this whole OSHA situation, but we'll get back to that. So Cecil and Simone have a dinner party over at their home, and they invite Heavenly, Damon, Scott, and Contessa over. And I said, bitch, this makeup is too fresh for this, Simone. Simone be so messy. Y'all, Simone be so messy. So damn messy. Okay? So Heavenly is joking, saying that they have the better marriage, so it makes sense for them to call them over there to ask them for advice. Heavenly also said on her YouTube that she already wrote a damn book under Damon's publishing company. I said, not Dr. Daddy Damon have a publishing company, girl. I did not know that Dr. Damon had a publishing company. All right now. Child, look, I need to go see what else y'all have released on his publishing company. But anyway, when Scott and Contessa get there, also, what was y'all listen? It seemed as if this was a dinner party for you to actually dress up for. Okay? Heavenly and Damon came like they just got off from work and they tired. So what we doing? Okay? Like that's what their energy was. Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott come in. They got they cute little outfit, makeup, hair, wig, all that shit going on. Okay. And Simone says, she wishes she would have gotten a man that was a yes man. She tired of arguing with Cecil about every damn thing all the damn time. And they all talk about how, girl, you don't want no yes man. You would have got bored with a yes man. And I'm like, yeah, but there should be a happy medium somewhere in there. Like, do I need to be in my fucking 50s still complaining about a nigga not listening to me? Like, oh my God. Like, that do feel exhausting. But I guess that's why Simone, always screaming to the top of her lungs. Y'all gonna listen to her because she feel unheard over there. I swear, men like Cecil are amazing to me. They just turn off. I think they just turn off their ears. They don't hear shit no more. You could be screaming to the top of your lungs and they are somewhere in their mind. Somewhere where you aren't, bitch. Somewhere in the clouds. Okay? Anyway, so when they sit down for dinner, Cecil breaks out the NDA. And it was just a joke. But still, Contessa was like, child, Heavenly would have just paid the fee and still would have told your damn business. I'm like, Contessa, y'all made up last week. You gonna keep bringing this shit up? You gonna keep making these little slick ass comments? And I'm getting tired. I'm really getting tired, Dr. Contessa, because you are the one that brought up all of the tea about your husband. Dr. Heavenly did not spray an ounce of tea about your husband. You got your ass on a nationally syndicated reality show and told us that he was cheating. Told us that you were in a toxic, and mentally, what she said? Yeah, she said it was toxic. She said it was a toxic household. She lives in a toxic household with a husband that she can't trust, that she don't know what he doing. And I'm just bothered by the fact that with all of that you still find it factual or pertinent to blame Heavenly for however people feel about Dr. Scott. When the truth of the matter is, people feel how they feel about Dr. Scott because of you and Scott, not because of Heavenly. It's quite annoying to hear you rewrite history every time we together. You got to rewrite history, okay? Then we talk about how everybody met, okay? I don't really care. Contessa and Scott met and had their finances together at 35 with no debt. So they decided to get married. I said, so that's why y'all decided to get married, because both of y'all was about to be 35 with no debt? That's it? Is that why y'all don't like each other now? Because I keep telling y'all, I feel like Dr. Contessa does not like Scott. Like, you may be on the show bucking on his behalf, but essentially I don't feel like you like him. Like, I don't feel like you're in a better space with him. It doesn't seem that way at all, Dr. Contessa. It seems as if you've resigned to be passive aggressive about your unhappiness. Damon starts talking about how painful a woman's words. And, men get along better because they know that, they can't have conversations or can't throw certain jabs at each other without a line being crossed. And with women, there's no line. And Contessa asks if he's talking about Heavenly. And he says, well, no, I'm talking about all of you. And she feels like, well, I feel like I'm a man because I would rather have a fight with you than to have you talk about my vulnerabilities and shit. And, you have to be careful who you share things with. She brings it back to Heavenly, brings it back to, oh, I shouldn't have shared things with Heavenly. And it's like, girl, nothing that you shared with Heavenly is what anybody was talking about. It was all the things you said. It was all the things you got quiet to say for you at the reunion show. Like, it was the things that you said to the group, Contessa. That's the reason. I can't stand when people act like they can't hear us when we keep saying, bitch, because Martell does that. Martell from Love and Marriage Huntsville does the exact same thing where he keeps saying that we're misunderstanding him. And it's the reality show that has us confused. And it's Mel that has us confused about who he really is, as if we're not looking at him. And I feel like it's the same thing with Contessa. Contessa, we see you. We heard you. It was on TV. We can go and play it back, bitch. I can go and pull it back up on Peacock right now, rewind it, and show it to you. Well, you were the one that told us that Scott was cheating, that told us that your household was toxic. That's all we've been going off, Contessa. There was nothing that Heavenly said that derived from a secret conversation that y'all had. So this is just very child. There, whole Ray J. There's a whole bunch of people that are constantly acting like they don't know what everybody is talking about, just completely ignoring the truth of the matter so that they can spin a narrative and keep screaming it as if that's gonna make it a fact because they keep saying it. Okay. Heavenly says, don't say negative things about your husband in front of the world. And I was like, exactly, Heavenly, exactly. Okay. Damon tells her that she needs to stop. I notice what you think you need to do, Heavenly, but stop. Okay. Then he points out the fact to everyone that she didn't stop when he asked her to. And that shows a sign of disrespect. He says it bothers him that they have this bullshit going on. And Contessa says it's not bullshit. He says it is bullshit. Then she says he's taking up for his wife. He was not taking up for her. He was actually trying to reprimand both of you and basically say that both of you are being childish and need to let go of this foolishness that y'all keep going through back and forth. Now, let me say this. I understand what Dr. Damon was trying to say. But when Contessa got up and said, we make the same amount of money, we are both doctors, you can't dictate to me, it's because during the conversation, when Dr. Damon told Dr. Heavenly to shut up and be quiet, and she did, and Contessa kept talking, and then Heavenly turns around and tells her that she needs to shut up, and Contessa says, you need to shut the fuck up, and Damon was trying to get them to stop all of this, right? To me, it felt like Dr. Damon is allowed to have this energy that he knows better. He's just a better human being than everybody else, right? He's just a better guy. He's more in control of himself. He's smarter. He's just better at everything than everybody else. Let Dr. Heavenly tell it. And that's how she's supposed to feel about her husband if that's the truth of the matter, right? He's the bee's knees. That does not mean that he can dictate to other people. Even though I agree with what he said, the tone of Dr. Damon is that I know better as a man, and you women can't seem to get it together, so y'all need to stop. And you need to listen to me, Heavenly, because if you're not stopping when I tell you to stop, then you're disrespecting me. And I just kind of feel like, Dr. Damon, I understand what you mean. As a spouse, you want to be able to calm your other spouse down. You want to be able, if they're in a moment where they're flipping out, you want to be able to get them to calm down. I understand that. But at the same time, Dr. Damon, I feel like you agitated this moment. I feel like you taking the opportunity to once again son somebody or talk to people like you're an authority figure is the reason why this argument blew up the way it did. And I feel like you know that it was your fault that the argument blew up the way it did. But instead of taking responsibility for what you did to antagonize this situation by even saying anything, you get mad at Heavenly for doing what Heavenly always does, which is go back and forth and speak up for that. That's why you were telling her, I know you think you need to do this, but you don't. You train her to be an attack dog on behalf of her husband. And then when she does it, you get mad and tell her to calm down and be quiet. It's a weird situation for me. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird situation for me to watch him talk to her like she's a child. Her attempt to be calm, but then still be herself. Him tell her he feels disrespected by it. Contessa is over there going through her own shit. You know what I'm saying? But I still understood why she felt the way she did. You know what I'm saying? I felt like you can be quiet when your husband tells you to be quiet, but I don't have to be quiet just because your husband said be quiet. And there is the energy that because Dr. Damon has a penis, everybody in the room is just supposed to listen to whatever he says. When really, he didn't need to say anything. He didn't need to say anything about the way women need to watch their words. He didn't need to say any of that, y'all. I don't care what any of y'all are talking about. When Dr. Damon decided to take that moment to say that women don't seem to be able to know how their words affect other people. No, women absolutely know how their words affect people. And sometimes that's just what it is. Like, what? I always, like, the last 2 times I feel like Dr. Damon has made the conversation about men versus women. And I don't feel like that's not helpful. That's not helpful for you, Dr. Damon, to like start the conversation with talking about how men are more in control of themselves than women are. You gonna catch the women in the room completely at here we go with him with this misogynistic shit. He knows better because he's Dr. Daddy Damon and everybody just gotta listen to him because he's all calm and shit. When the truth of the matter is, he antagonized that situation. I don't care what nobody talking about. He antagonized the situation. He did. Contessa was already feeling away. Simone was going to, did you hear what your husband said? Dr. Damon, you could have just left it alone. You really could have just left it alone, in my opinion. Okay? Anyway, so my question is, what should they have done when they started yelling? Let them yell. Let them yell. Or Dr. Damon could have did what he did, which was got up and walked out. When he got up and walked out, that ended all argument, because what was Dr. Heavenly going to do? Run behind her husband. And that's what she should do. You're living with your husband, of course. That's what you should do. That broke it all up. But we're not going to sit here and act like he did not start that conversation before anybody started screaming at each other. Okay? Let me see. I know, look, we can see the situation differently. I don't care. I just feel how I feel. You are the first person to say this. I didn't like he's putting her in her place. I'm not your kid or pet. Yeah, I didn't like, it was the tone of it. There's a way to talk to your spouse. To me, just because he's saying it quietly doesn't mean the tone of it isn't, I told you to be quiet. Be quiet. If I tell you to do something, you do it. That's what he said to her when they got outside to the car. When they got outside to the car, he said, no, when I tell you to do something, you do it. Y'all, that's fine for whoever that works for. If that works for you, that's fine. I don't want a father figure in my husband. I don't want anybody talking to me like that. I'm an adult. I can control myself. If I get into an argument with somebody and you say, baby, that's enough, let's go. Okay? I'm going to curse your ass out as we walk out the door. But nobody's going to shut me down verbally. That's something that, don't do that to me. I got me. You have you. Okay? She said he was already aggravated because they was arguing before they got there. So he was acting towards her. That's what it felt like to me. It was very passive aggressive and it antagonized the situation. Dr. Damon suppresses his feelings like most men, and whoever doesn't fall in line with his thoughts, he comes across. Child, I'm trying to click on stuff. It wasn't working. Everyone doesn't view Damon the way Heavenly does. And they shouldn't. That's her husband. Okay? Cecil and Scott knew what to do. Let them, y'all. Once they get to a certain point, they will stop talking or leave. To me, the other 2 men knew what to do. Fuck. She said that Dr. Damon's comments was based off of their argument prior to them going to Simone's house. And I understand that. And that's what makes it even worse to me. That's what makes it even worse. Because at the end of the day, whatever argument you had with your wife before you got there, you did not need to bring that up around everybody else. Because the way you want her to protect you is the way you should be trying to protect her. Period. Because at the end of the day, Heavenly will do everything. So y'all don't know that Dr. Damon is misogynistic. She does everything she can to protect his image, to protect him from people coming at him. So for him to sit there, knowing that Contessa and Simone are both people that Heavenly just recently got into it with, and then start this conversation about how she needs to recognize how harmful her words were when she wasn't even really saying shit at the moment. Then you got Contessa and Simone jumping on your bandwagon while your wife sits there. And let's not forget the fact that Quad was the only person this episode that brought up that Heavenly is about to bury her mama. So Cecil having to come outside to tell Damon to give his wife some grace during a moment where her mom is dying. Okay, we can act like that wasn't fucked up. We can act like that wasn't fucked up. But I'm going to just say, if I'm going through it and I'm having a hard time, at least keep our arguments between us. And don't try to use people who have beef with me to make you feel better about an argument we just had before we even got here. Don't do me like that. And the way Heavenly does the thing, and y'all know what I'm talking about. You raise your voice an octave, you bring it all the way down, and you do the thing. You know, I don't want you to feel like this, daddy, and all of this shit. When you the one that's dealing with your mom passing away, and whatever that feel, plus the menopause. Let's not forget about the menopause. I just feel like even if Dr. Damon felt away, please do not do that to your wife. Try to get other people to join in on your argument with her. Do not do that. To me, that was fucked up. But yes, I'm not Dr. Heavenly. So however she feels about the situation is really all that matters. But this is my review. So I was going to give my opinion. And my opinion was that shit was not cool. No matter how you slice it, the shit was not cool. People online telling Contessa to come for Heavenly's dying mom to get back at her online attacks. Oh, wow. Those people are going to hell. That's why he calls her dad. He talks to her like a child. Exactly. Dr. Heavenly going through a lot with her mom's sickness. Dr. Damon could show a little grace towards his wife. You're right about her feelings at that time. Don't give my enemies a leg up on me. I know that's right. I can talk hours about this menopause. Shout, my neighbor across the street just said that to me about she going through it right now, and she got to make sure her damn house cold, and was asking me how I felt about the panels on the roof and if it helped because she need to add another AC to the house. Okay. Oh, thank you, Soros. I'm new to your channel. You are amazing. Oh, thank you, DB. I appreciate that. Even one of the other husbands told him chill on his wife. They knew he did too much. Cecil was like, give your wife a little bit of grace. And to me, that's how you know what the energy of the conversation really was, because the other men had to come outside and be like, hey man, why don't you cut Heavenly a little grace right now, huh? I understand, but you know, cut your wife a little bit of a break. You know what I mean? So anyway, moving on from there, Dr. Jackie has her old shot party. Anila wouldn't get the old shot because her mama was there. Anila, please send your mama home. If you can't do what the fuck you want to do as an adult, then your mama don't need to be in your house. That it felt like she gave her pussy a shot of Patron. I said, all right, girl. All right, girl. Okay. She needed it. She needed it. Dr. Heavenly didn't come. And Dr. Heavenly called Dr. Jackie on the phone to tell her she had to sign a DNR for her mama, do not resuscitate. And she was crying on the phone. And she was like, I'll call you later, bitch. And I was just like, oh my God, y'all. That, I ain't gonna lie, that broke my heart for Heavenly. Like, I can't imagine, man. Like, and you know, my old girl is my round. Like, my old girl is my round. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my mom. And I know that's gonna happen one day, and it's just, y'all gonna have to give me grace. Y'all gonna have to give me grace, Because at the end of the day, that has to be one of the hardest things in the world, to bury your mama. You know what I'm saying? And then to have it like be this long, drawn out process where she's sick, and then the decline, and then the paperwork, and dealing with all of those things on the same type of being on, same time you on this show and all. That's a lot to go through. So I really, my heart was hurt for Dr. Heavenly. And it really makes sense when you think about the last episode when she was crying and talking about how sorry she was to Contessa. Like, obviously somebody that's in a vulnerable moment. Honestly, somebody that, needs a little grace right now. Y'all know who Heavenly is. I don't feel like she's done anything that bad for the way people are treating her during this time where shit is really hard for her. You see what I'm saying? Like, it'd be different if this was a few seasons ago. But essentially, she really did shit that bad. She been doing YouTube now for what, 6-7 years now? She been doing YouTube for a while now. Y'all just not getting mad about it when her mom is passing? Like, really? Like, I just, it just kind of feels, like that's too much. And I'm glad that Heavenly is not being shunned from the entire cast at this time, because I feel like that would make me even more, make me feel even more bad for her. But anyway, I feel for Heavenly lost my mom when I was 6 years later. I had to bury my father, age 25 years old. She need compassion, especially because it ain't that deep. Especially because ain't none of this shit that deep, as far as I'm concerned. You want to talk about, it's crazy to me how men's minds work. Because in her stress, she's supposed to constantly be able to control her words for you. But you can go and embarrass her and get other people to gang up on her. And that's okay, right? That's okay. Because she didn't watch her words. Let me tell you something. Y'all old girls gonna keep bending yourselves into pretzels for these niggas all y'all want to. Okay? But I'ma just hope and pray you curse them out in private. I'ma just hope and pray you curse them out in private. That's all I'ma say. Like, nigga, how you gonna do to me what Contessa and them just did to me? I was just crying to you about Contessa going with Simone and Toya and attacking me together, and now you gonna come to this fucking dinner party and join with Contessa and Simone and do the same thing? Child, let me go ahead before Dr. Heavenly get mad at me for being on her side. Child, like the video. Okay, I hope y'all liked it. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to move on that fast, but I needed to get... Sorry, y'all. Sorry, I almost forgot, but I didn't forget. I'm going to take myself off camera, y'all, because shit's acting funny. Okay, so first of all, let me go ahead and pull up Contessa's live, because I believe Contessa's live was... Hold up. Let's go. So it was 15 minutes long.
You did not miss it.
Let me see. Hold up.
Y'all are, what's so funny? You want to join me on live? You can join me on.
Hold up. Y'all.
Hey,
sure I got no echo.
So I am so I was watching Marriage to Medicine, and it's so funny. I get so sick, and I really don't do this much, and y'all know I don't be on live like that. And I definitely try to be the thing that I get so sick of people saying, which is so freaking frustrating, is, oh my God, this woman who I don't talk to, I ain't talked to since June of 2021. I took my daughter to her birthday because she said in a group chat, your daughter should come to my birthday party. My daughter's birthday party. What 46-year-old woman is going to your daughter's birthday party? I mean, this is so stupid. We ain't talked since June of 2021. And this is so funny. I haven't said a thing about this woman. And if you watch the show, I didn't talk about nothing on Married to Medicine about me not talking to this woman. She told everybody about us not talking. But it's so stupid because I'm watching this show. And it's so interesting because one thing that I was told was people are so dumb. If you tell them something, they're going to believe it. Right? And I think somebody said add Toya because Toya wants to. Toya. Anyway, I ain't talked to this woman since June 2021. I ain't once mentioned.
Girl, you know I had to get on. I saw my girl on the live.
Girl, I want that bullshit. And I just want you to say, let me tell you what is so funny. I get so frustrated. And I don't even like doing this. But it's so stupid because
we're gonna do it tonight. We're gonna do it tonight. Come on.
Real briefly though, because we gotta say something for reunion. Including all the receipts and the voicemails and the bullshit. I ain't talked to this woman since June of 2021. And if
girl, I don't talk to her at all.
YouTube channel, she's told everybody.
No. Contessa, I don't talk to her at all.
At all.
The bitch seems to know my business.
It's so frustrating though to say you using me. Wait, I'm using you for a storyline. Yet you're the only one who's ever talking about me. I'm never talking about.
You're the only one who's talking about everybody else.
We weren't talking.
Bitch, don't nobody want to hear about Laura. We love Laura, but we can do a Laura without you. How about
Lauren,
that?
I really regret taking Lauren to that birthday party because I swear to say, I'm 46 years.
I sped the video up, y'all, because I'm not about to sit here for 15 whole minutes. So I sped it up.
Old. Why in the hell would I be going to a kid's birthday party? I brought my daughter, and if you look at videos and everything,
I was busy and booked.
But I'm just saying it's so frustrating to lie. Like the lies. I'm using you for a storyline, yet if you watch the show and you watch her YouTube, she's the one who told everybody that we ain't talking. Because no one
we over there praying. We over there praying for them while they going to get drunk.
Praying for you. I'm hoping and praying for you, but I'm like, look, I don't fuck with you. But all you do is talk about me, yet I'm the one.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. When they were getting the old shots and Quad was like, Heavenly is going through it right now because Heavenly's mom is dying. Like right now, Heavenly's mom is dying. So that was how they decided to start praying for Heavenly's mom. But ultimately, all of the things had already happened. Okay. Yeah, I'm speeding it up. Like I can hear it. So if y'all can't hear it, I'm sorry, but I'm not about to play it on regular speed because I don't like I can't sit through her saying the same thing over and over again.
Who's using you for a storyline? I ain't talked to you until we started filming because I fucking had to.
Welcome to my life. Look, welcome to my life.
It's so I'm watching the show though, but I'm like, it's so crazy because I'm watching the show and I'm like, because you don't, Toya, honestly, we don't remember. We don't remember.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that.
Vegas. But I'm watching this Vegas episode and I'm like, I tried my best to just have a good time and act like this woman was invisible. And you can come off my motherfucking live, bitch, if you want me to stop screaming. Okay, this is my live. So get off my live if you don't want to hear what I'm gonna say.
Hater.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
Y'all killing me right now. I'm nice because I want to be, not because I have to be. But I just am so frustrated. And I promise you, I will never do this again. But what's real is
no. We're not gonna make no promises.
Every time she starts to actually say something, Toya interrupts or she repeats herself. Do y'all see why I have this on speed through?
We're just gonna say somebody. You said over and over again.
I'm letting I know.
Contessa ain't talk to me. Contessa ain't talk to me.
I'm just trying.
But I'm using you for a storyline. What are you talking about right now? And even watching the show, I'm like, maybe I'm being so mean. Maybe the fact that I ghosted this bitch because she's not a good friend is me. It was maybe me. Maybe because she has actually been a good friend. But that's
because you have a soul and a heart. That bitch is soulless. I'm trying to tell you. She does this for the people. And the crazy part is the people, y'all got to stop egging that bitch up. Y'all got to start reading that bitch saying,
what you
girls don't have anything else to talk about besides other people. Seriously. Contessa's living our best life.
You don't get no life from me. She got no life from me since June of 2020.
Thank you so much, B Brown, for the Cash App. Thank you.
She said on her, and if you watch her YouTube channel, she chronicles the whole situation. Contessa stopped talking to me. Contessa didn't come to Damon's party. Contessa don't talk to me. 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 But when we start filming, you want to act like we motherfucking talk. I don't talk to you.
So how is she acting like y'all talk when you literally have been saying this entire live that she told everybody y'all didn't talk? So which one is it? Is she acting like y'all were talking, or did she tell everybody that y'all weren't talking? Which one is it, Contessa?
No. God forbid you do, because it's gonna end up on her YouTube.
But I'm watching the show and I'm like, I'm in Vegas. I'm trying to have a good time, like promote her bullshit ass business. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. I didn't even understand that. I thought she was just being clownish. I didn't know what she was doing with that.
I mean, people.
I think when I was saving for Halloween.
I believe in supporting Black businesses, and I think it's nice to be able to change up your look every once in a while. But real talk, it just is so frustrating.
But Heavenly give her wigs to the funeral home.
Well, I mean, I was dead in Vegas, clearly.
Contessa, we're not going to blame Dr. Heavenly's beauty store for your choice in bad wiggage, because before Dr. Heavenly started her BS business, as you called it, you were always wearing bad wigs. If you weren't wearing your hair, it was a bad wig. If it wasn't braids, it was a bad wig.
I'm just beautiful home wigs for promoting.
I watched this episode, and I just want to say, if you watch the episode and you literally listen to the foolishness that comes out of her mouth, which was first and foremost, me and Scott don't have no problems. I made it up. But then all you talk about in drag. Oh, and then wait, it's my fault that we're having problems because I shouldn't have went back and got a degree, because smart ass people shouldn't go get degrees because women are only supposed to help.
Can we just talk about Heavenly?
You know, Heavenly don't feel like that, Contessa. That's not what she said.
Can we just really go in right now?
No, because she's not worth it. But I just want to talk about me and I want to talk about you. But I just want to say, what we're watching, if you use your deductive reasoning and you watch from the episode 1 where she said to Quad, Contessa don't talk to me. Quad comes up to me. Contessa don't talk to me. You said, I didn't even know y'all weren't talking because guess what? It's
okay, okay, but who believes Eugene won out his marriage or Damon?
Oh my God. We went on a trip and
What?
Eugene loves his every man on this show loves their wife.
Baby.
Every man on this show loves his wife.
Baby.
Their wife.
Have we ever seen Heavenly and Damon do any? No.
I think people
but
and use your stuff and start looking, watching, peeping fucking game, right? But I'm like, I'm in Vegas and I'm telling you, as a clinician, I try to channel my inner Jackie, but I'm not Jackie. I am Kansas City motherfucking all day, every day.
It's Jackie.
I'm smart. I'm a board certified physician and I love being that. But bitch, you come for me, I'm a motherfucking drag you all day, every day.
Honey,
Oh my God.
that's that Midwest.
And I still get to keep my fucking house and my degrees, right?
You have yet to drag her, Contessa.
I own my own business now, so I get.
Wait, I can't, because y'all gonna get me talking, and y'all don't want to research Heavenly's house. Okay.
Well, research 30327. I mean,
but
just say already in real life. Don't stop acting like anybody is jealous of anybody. No one's jealous of anyone. No one's doing bad. I mean, Heavenly,
Nobody said that.
you make a lot of money.
Nobody said that, Contessa. And that's how we know that that's where your mind is. Niecy said it in her live yesterday, that she feels like Contessa is always comparing herself to other people and probably comparing herself to Scott as well. And it has to be because Heavenly has always said that everybody is successful. She's always said that the only person who she doesn't respect is Toya. She's the only one when it comes to finances and business that she doesn't respect. Everybody else, she has said everybody is successful. I mean, shit, even for being a housewife, Toya is successful. A man that loves you, makes good food, can drink, and, make good drinks and shit like that. And, he pays for everything all the time. Like, girl, what are you talking about? She did a great job as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for the Super Chat Gala post. I usually just watch and not say anything. However, I wanted to say I love watching your content. You are wise beyond your years. You are destined for great things. Keep up the great work, beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. So let's continue on listening to her foolishness, y'all.
You make more money than her. Let's be fucking honest. You make more money than she does.
Jealous that she wasn't invited to the party. Anila said she's her own woman.
Oh, so now Toya makes more money than Heavenly? How would you know that, Contessa?
Anila was at your party today, and I was like, I wonder did she get permission from Heavenly to be there?
She said she's her own woman.
She is, huh?
She is her own woman. Y'all just mad that she's not siding with y'all.
She is. She is.
We at the reunion.
Well, I will say this.
Let's see. Be quiet in her.
It ain't even worth it. But I'm just so sick of the lies. I know people are smart. I know people are smarter than what they appear to be.
All right, I'm done. I see people saying that Heavenly drag Contessa on those lives. You remember them? What did she say? Since you saw those lives, can you tell us? Can you tell us what she said? Or one specific one? By the way, I feel like I listened to enough of that for me to feel like, Contessa, girl, you're not even talking about what everybody else is talking about. So I don't even know what to say to any of that. But it continues on. Okay, shout out to the Discord. Shout out to Rant with Ricardo. So Dr. Heavenly went on Twitter and said, "Oh no, Dr. Contessa, you do not make the same as Dr. Damon. He is board certified in 4 different specialties and owns his own surgical center. Don't you ever in your life compare yourself to us. There is no comparison." Hashtag debt free, baby. Hashtag true wealth. House poor. Please put the kids in private school, especially the boy that don't need to go through what they are going through. Hashtag team daddy. Child, what the boy is going through? What the boy is going through down there? Rules seem to change based on who you like. So kids are fair game. Okay, first of all, let's not act like she said something bad about your kid. She said put your kid in another school. Like, I love the way people like to like act like people talking bad about their kids when they really be talking about the parent. Like, nobody say nothing bad about your son. She said you need to put your son in another school. Okay, that's what she said. She said put the kids in private school, especially the boy. They don't need to go through what they are going through. So whatever they're going through at the public school she's sending them to, Heavenly is saying you need to send them back. She deleted the tweet. I'm sure she deleted it. I'm sure she did, because people are going to feel like, this is fucked up that you bringing up the kids. But I would like to remind y'all that Contessa brought her daughter into the situation. Contessa brings the kids into arguments all the time. Like, I don't know about what's going on with Contessa's kids, but I also can understand the difference between talking about a child and saying that a parent needs to make better decisions. That's not the same thing. But okay. But Toya and Contessa mentioned Allura first. I missed that part. I don't know when they mentioned Allura. But yes, continuing on. Dr. Heavenly, your obsession must stop. Haven't been your friend in over a year, yet you still constantly talk about me. Move on, love. Contessa, what the fuck are you talking about? Y'all are literally on a reality show where you and her argued last night. She gets up on YouTube and she reviews what happened on the show. You're acting like she's talking about you out of nowhere, but she was not talking about you when the show wasn't on. The conversations about you, Contessa, started when y'all started taping because you threatened, you almost kicked her ass. She wanted everybody to know that. And like, it was all based on y'all's interactions. But if y'all were not fighting, Heavenly never really said anything bad as far as I can recall. Okay? They say they can take Allura without Heavenly. That's still not them saying anything bad about Allura. I feel sorry for your kids, using them as pawns, then saying they were not at home. You are such a liar. In Simone's words, a fake, a phony, and a fraud. I've never known Heavenly to be a liar, you guys. So I'm ready to believe that she did that, especially when I added with the fact that Contessa and Scott often bring their kids into their arguments. And you can tell based on the way Contessa's daughter reacts to her trainer that she's probably more privy to what's going on than she should be. And I just kind of feel like I'm more inclined to believe Dr. Heavenly on this. I could be wrong. Contessa could be right. But I'm more inclined to believe Dr. Heavenly about her bringing her daughter down while they were arguing, because of the way she and Scott like to argue. Okay, so kids are fair game. Hashtag too low for my soul to go. There's another thing. This is not her talking bad about your kids. This is her saying she feels bad for them because of you and the decisions that you make. That's not shade or a negative to your children. It's a negative to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why people can't understand the difference between those two things, but I can. So I'm going to take it for what the words are. Oh, no, Dr. Contessa. Okay, wait, no, I read that part. Okay, let me see. Was there anything else? Because, child, it seemed as if they was going back and forth for a long time. Hold up. Let's see. Yeah. All right. That seems like that was pretty much it for the most part. Let me check my Instagram right quick. House poor. Feel sorry for your kids. Okay, so we the women on reality TV, but our kids are also fit. Remind me, because the rules seem to change. All right, Contessa. Yes, you brought Layla down, not me. I would never. I can't imagine what you do when you argue with your husband. Please don't bring your energy to mine. Okay, so this is more. Hold up. Okay, so this is more. Okay, because Dr. Contessa continues to act as if the kids are being brought up. Okay, child, look at Buffy in the comments. Dr. Heavenly, Yes, you brought Layla down, not me. I would never. I can't imagine what you do when you and your husband argue. Please don't bring your energy to mine. You will never disrespect him in my presence. Do better. I was wrong. I apologize, but you have to stop bringing your kids into this. Poor Layla was traumatized at the ambush. You trying to make me look bad when you said I was trying to ruin your family. Please chill. These kids don't need this. I hope you and your family are well, okay? And that was, I think, the last that I have seen of arguments between them online as of today. Okay? Um, but yeah, you guys, thank you, Britt, for the super chat. They said they can take Alora without her because Toya tried to clean it up. She was about to say, we don't want to hear about Alora. I mean, at this point, that's still not shade to her daughter. That's still not them talking bad about her daughter. But I'm gonna say that I feel like Dr. Contessa is one of those people. She does what I feel like a lot of men do in arguments. Like they'll pick out one little piece of something and then flip it on you, and then they'll just keep reiterating the same thing over and over again, and they never respond to what people are actually saying. Because at the end of the day, she did not say anything bad about your kids. She said that you bring your kids into arguments and she feels sorry for them. And she said that you need to put your boys in a private school because apparently they're going through something. And to me, that's probably the only thing that either was something you shared or something that we don't know that's going on behind the scenes about your kids. Okay. But at this point, y'all are going back and forth. And I always feel like whenever people start throwing mud, it's fair game at the end of the day. But I still did not hear anybody or read anybody saying anything directly negative about anybody's kids. So I don't know why everybody keeps acting like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? They both put the kids in their marital mess. I remember him talking about Contessa when she was away at school. I'm sick of both. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Scott and Contessa both argue that way. And so, you know, you get into a heated argument with Heavenly, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I love this. I don't know. I love you, Bondi, and I rise with you, girl. But once you interview with them, you give them too much grace. Okay. You're entitled to feel that way. I mean, I had interviewed with Heavenly like a long time ago. This last time that I was on Heavenly's channel wasn't the first time I had interviewed with her. I know that y'all like to think that, and honestly, I just don't care because I'm still gonna see it however I'm gonna see it. And I've always tried to be open-minded once I have more information and all of that type of shit. But essentially, my opinion on the show is my opinion on the show. I don't know what else y'all want me to do. If you want me to feel like Heavenly is doing something so terrible, I wish I could. I wish I could. But in this moment, no, I don't see it. I feel like Contessa is blowing shit out of proportion because she's trying to deflect from what's going on with her. That's what I feel. You know, getting very disrespectful and Scott is recording her on the slide. It's very strange. You have to go to the end. Not he recording her on the slide. Oh, okay, hold up. Let me see.
Mama.
Okay, my name's Hi, baby. Those are my boobs.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that's what's gonna last.
I love that. And I have 3 kids. And I lived in 30327 before I got on Married to Medicine. And
30327. I remember 30327. Come on out to the burbs. Come on out to the burbs, baby.
Stop. Anyway, sorry. Bye. I'm done. He told me to Scott told me to delete the live. Look at
God, that's what I'm saying. Bye.
He's so unbothered, and I love that he's unbothered. But because I let this motherfucker come into my motherfucking home. I didn't talk to you.
Not God. You mean
my head about you? I really feel like a clown. Why do you think people are your friends that are not your friends?
No.
I think
Don't feel like a clown. Don't feel like a clown. What you feel like is you've been awakened. Whoa.
Right.
We woke.
I'm woke. You know, I'm done. And I'm not. I know
karma is a big baby. It's coming. Honey, I already put it on that. I said karma has no expiration.
He's mad at me. I gotta get off. All right. And how about this? This man.
Wait, let me talk for you.
Shut up, Toya.
Hold on.
We argue and we don't agree on everything to call this man. abusive. You are a dumb motherfucking bitch, you dumbass bitch.
Oh, no.
I just said that a long time ago. And I didn't. I didn't.
She's angry and unhappy. We know.
It's it's literally so, I'm so mad. Anyway, bye. Eugene, please, love it. Bye.
Okay, so I'm gonna just say this to that. Contessa is the one that said her relationship was toxic. And if you're gonna say your relationship is toxic, somebody asked Dr. Heavenly, does she think that their relationship is abusive, which is not that far away from toxic? And she said mentally and verbally, or emotionally and verbally, which means I don't think he's ever put his hands on her, but the way they fight, the way they argue is abusive. You pair that with someone saying their household is toxic, it's the same thing as far as I'm concerned. And I just kind of feel like Contessa is just, you feel like a clown because you trusted Heavenly, but you're making yourself look more like a clown getting on live with Toya, who you never really liked, who you didn't respect either, so that y'all could talk shit about Heavenly for being honest. Because to be honest with you guys, like, everybody's mad because Heavenly's being honest. She hasn't lied about anything as far as I've seen. And I just really wish that Contessa would stop blowing it out of proportion. You did more damage to Scott's reputation than Heavenly did. Like, just deal with that. Claudette, thank you for the super chat. I disagree. I think you call out everyone on the BS. I try to. I really try to. But I'm also a Gemini with a Libra moon. So I am a fair person. And a lot of times I can see both sides of something. A lot of y'all don't like or understand that type of, understanding of things. And I get it. But it doesn't mean that I'm doing something fake or fugazi like y'all are trying to make it seem. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. Y'all want me to what? Like, I'm not even going on Contessa that hard. But if Heavenly gave me something to go in on her about, I would. I mean, I literally said, let me stop talking about her husband before she start, cursing me. No, I said, let me stop defending her before she, curse me out on live or something. Because I know how she feel about her husband, girl. Even if I'm defending her, she's gonna, go up for Damon. You know what I'm saying? And I find it problematic. But I'm also not gonna argue with somebody about the way they feel about their fucking husband. That seems stupid. That seemed like some dumb shit to do. But anyway, girl, let me go ahead and press on because I am running behind. So, Real Housewives of Atlanta, make sure y'all like the video. Do that for me. Like the video. Candy and Ace have started acting classes together. So cute. I cannot. Okay. Marlo's nephews are coming home, and she talks to her sister about whether them being at home with her in Buck, I guess that must be her old man, girl, that we didn't really know about. Okay. Whether that helped William and Michael. And she says they still not taking their medicine. They still not cleaning up. They're still not doing what they're supposed to be doing. She says that she's going to start making them see a therapist, and she's going to make sure she stays on them about the regimen of cleaning up, making sure they do their homework and all of that. Okay. And she was like, all right, girl, I'll see you in 5 days. And her sister was like, come get these kids tomorrow. Playing with me. Thank you, Sydney, for the super sticker. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Drew is laid out because of her Achilles. Y'all wanted to believe that Drew was lying about tearing her Achilles, but no. They said that because her other Achilles that she tore originally was weak, she was overcompensating on the other leg, which makes sense. Okay. So there was a rupture. She had to get it sewn up and everything. So Sheree, who calls herself Drew's arch nemesis, I guess on Twitter arguing, girl, we'll get into that as well. Sonya comes in, another one. What you here for? You just gonna follow Sheree wherever she go, correct? They talk about how she lost the argument with Kenya, and Sheree mentions Kenya calling Ross aggressive. And Sonya feels like she wishes she had a man like I have a man. She's never experienced love like that, okay? So she calls Kenya on the phone to ask Kenya about it. Like, I'm sitting here with Sheree, and she told me you had some things to say about my husband. You said that he was aggressive. And you know that I don't like anyone talking about my husband in that way, especially as a black man and da-da-da-da. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all, I have a black man here with me. I really, really do. And I love him, and I fear all the time that someone will do something to him. I do. But at the same time, if you stand up and curse women out, that's fucking aggressive. I'm tired of y'all. I'm tired of y'all acting like we can't call a thing because people like to stereotype black men, like, oh, because one is one way, that means all of them are that way. And no, but the one that stood up and told everybody, y'all ain't gonna be fucking with my wife. Yeah. If Kenya felt like that was aggressive, if Kenya felt like that was too much, if Kenya felt like, damn, I don't have a man to stand up and speak for me, so now I'm a little worried. You know what I'm saying? Not saying he would do anything, but if he's going to stand up and talk like that to her and she doesn't have a man to defend her or have her back, I can understand her feeling away. And I don't feel like anybody should act like she was wrong for expressing that, because it's not like she went in on him. She didn't play, oh my God, I didn't want to be around him because I'm scared. She didn't do any of that. She didn't cry. She just said, I didn't appreciate the way he stood up and screamed and cursed at everybody. Like, the fuck? Like, what? Like, I was, y'all, and y'all know I do not go up for Kenya that much. This season, I've been going up for her way more than I ever have before. But essentially, I was like, how are y'all mad at Kenya? Because Kenya said that she felt like he was doing too much when he literally stood up and told everybody, don't fuck with my wife. Saying don't fuck with my wife is not cussing out. Oh, it's not? Oh, it's not? Girl, listen, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but she didn't say she needed security the next scene. She just said she didn't like the way he stood up and said, and what the fuck do y'all see? That's the shit right there that works on my nerves. A man stands up and says, listen, y'all ain't gonna be doing my wife like that. Why aren't we gonna be fucking with your wife like that? Why aren't we gonna fuck with your wife like that? Tell me why. Why aren't we why? Because you're going to do what? Because you're going to do what? Because you're going to do what? I don't like what y'all fucking with. What are you going to do? You standing up and yelling and raising your voice to assert yourself over everybody else and tell us that we're not going to be arguing with your wife like this. Or what? He didn't raise his voice. He didn't. It seemed like he stood up, raised his voice, and said, you're not going to be effing with my wife. I'm going to just say this. If you don't find it aggressive, if you didn't find it jarring, then that is on you. If someone else finds it jarring, they're allowed to feel that way. Kenya didn't blow it out of proportion. She simply said, I don't like the way he talked to me. I didn't like the way he made me feel in that moment. She didn't say, oh, I can't be around Ross because I'm scared. She didn't do any of that. She simply said, I don't like the way that talk to me. And y'all want to act like because he's a black man, she can't say that. Go to hell. Go to hell. Go to hell. That's what I said. Go to hell. I can't stand y'all with that. I can't stand y'all with that. Exactly. Totally different from what Todd did. Totally different from what Todd did. And not only that, but y'all were talking to Todd. Nobody was talking to Ross. They were talking to Todd. Marlo was going in on Todd, calling Todd broke in all of this. And Todd simply said, listen, it's cool. Next time y'all argue, can you just leave me the fuck out of it? That I'm fine with. I don't have an issue with Todd saying that. I don't even have an issue with Todd saying that you paid your way on this show, Marlo. You paid your way on this show, boo. So I don't know what you talking about. But a nigga like, hey, y'all ain't gonna be with my wife. It's too much, man. I gotta go. It's too much. Different. If I felt, oh, wait a minute. Child, what he stood up, tell Rainbow, what he was gonna do? She's entitled to feel that way. She's entitled to feel that way. She's entitled to feel that way. Y'all ain't gonna piss me off in my comments today with this, I'm gonna defend a nigga no matter what. I get tired of y'all with that. Men are aggressive. In general, men are aggressive. The fuck are y'all talking about? They're trained and socialized to be aggressive. And another thing, if you don't want your wife to get into arguments, don't get on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because she gonna argue with a bitch. Thank you. A person's perception is their reality. This is not a Karen moment. That's not what this was, y'all. Kenya didn't blow it out of proportion. She just simply said to Sheree, I don't like the way he came at me. That made me feel the way. I ain't got no man at the table to buck for me. Because I can understand how she felt. Naturally, y'all, when you have a man there with you, you feel safer if another man gets up to bark at other women. But you notice none of the other men said anything. Everybody else just sat there and ate their food. That's what we want for the men to do on these housewife shows. Just sit there and eat your food. Now, if another man jumps in, if somebody tries to physically harm your wife, we can have a totally different conversation. But if women are just simply having an argument on a reality show, sir, sit there, be fine, and eat your food. And if it's bothering you, do us a favor and say, you know what, y'all, I really can't take too much of this. So I'm going to go ahead and peace out on y'all. Y'all have a good night. Sonya, can you come walk with me right quick? There's a way to get up from the table and take yourself out of the situation and disrupt what's going on. There's a way to do that. And Ross felt the need to assert himself. And I feel like he was doing that because of what happened with Marlo and what happened with Todd. But he did not handle it in the same way. So like I said, Kenya is entitled to feel the way she feels. Period. And nobody's saying that Ross is going to hit women. Nobody's saying that Ross is going to come across the table. Nobody's saying any of that. But just simply, you don't need to assert yourself when the women are having arguments. This is a reality show that's made for women to argue. That's what the women are supposed to do, Ross. You don't have to get involved. It's okay. It's okay. That's what she's being paid for. She's literally being paid to argue. Ty Savage, thank you for the super chat. Letty would have been a soft-spoken woman, though. Child. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. That annoyed me. But Kenya was like, what? I'm going to have to call you back. Kenya was like, I'm going to have to call you back, girl. Because I don't even have the bandwidth for this conversation right now. But she said she didn't recall saying the word aggressive. And I don't know if she did say the word aggressive or not. Either way, the tone, whatever, I don't know. If she felt like that, she felt like that. If he was just sitting there eating his food, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. Okay? So Drew and her mom go to a photo shoot for Ralph's book. Her mom wants to know why Ralph has changed his mind about adopting Josiah. And he comes over and says, you know, I had a conversation with Josiah's dad and he got emotional, saying that he really wanted a chance to be able to be a father to Josiah. And so, you know, he started to come to his basketball games and things of this nature. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay? Like, he wants Josiah to tell him that he wants Ralph to adopt him. And all of that seems so problematic to me, y'all. Like, all of it seems so problematic to me with Ralph. Thank you, Claudette, for the super chat. Kenya pulling out Kim Field's chair was aggressive. It was. It was. It absolutely was. But that's not what we're talking about right now. If we were talking about Kenya arguing with another woman, If we were talking about Kenya arguing with another woman, then I can remember all the time. But we're talking about right here, instance between her and that man. And at the end of the day, that was unnecessary. She's entitled to feel how she feels. Now, back to this situation with Drew and Ralph. Ralph is full of shit. Ralph is full of shit, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Talking about it's just a piece of paper. Drew is like, well, if it's a piece of paper, why did we get married? Now you have nothing to say. Do y'all know why I don't like this? Because Ralph is using Josiah and Drew to make himself seem like a good guy, while literally not being that to them. You got your little suit on and you're doing your little photo shoot, and Drew sitting up there talking about this is supposed to help. This is supposed to help families. Bullshit. This is so he can raise his profile and make money off of you and your son. Because in his mind, he probably feels like, well, I kind of raise him like he's mine. I might as well make some money off of the situation. But it ain't no real love there, if you ask me. It don't cost nothing for you to already have a kid and y'all to have 2 more kids, and you came to the table with money, Drew. It wasn't like you was no broke bitch he got with. You also have a high profile. You also had the wherewithal to take care of your son. So let's not act like, he was saving you from living in a fucking projects or something like that when he took you and your son in and all of this bullshit. Acting like he saved some fucking body. Drew was going to always be able to find somebody to take care of her and that baby. Believe that. If it wasn't him, it was going to be somebody else. And if for nothing else, Drew was going to make sure that her and her son were taken care of. So you ain't fucking saving nobody, Ralph. The book is bullshit. The book is bullshit. What he's talking about is bullshit. Him doing a photo shoot and y'all supporting it is bullshit. And I'm just not here for men using children to make themselves look like a great guy, all while giving a child the shorthand of the stick. Why should Josiah as a child have to come to you, who's already playing daddy, and tell you, you're already playing daddy. So why should he have to come to you and tell you that he wants you to be his daddy? He's a child. He's a child. He shouldn't have to tell you that. And to be honest, everybody's already saying it. You don't want to financially have to be responsible for Josiah if you and Drew break up, which is a real possibility because you love to dog her the fuck out. The only reason y'all might stay together is because she's a pick-me that's so happy to have a good-looking man that other women want. Yes, it's all giving Martell. It's all getting poster child. Okay? Are y'all still talking about Kim Fields in my comments? Let's not shade Kim Fields. Let's not shade Kim Fields in my comments. I don't stand for any Kim Fields disrespect. Okay? That did not match what we were talking about with Kenya. So we're not going to use that. Okay? We're not talking about an argument between 2 women. But Kim Fields, we're not going to down Kim Fields in the same sentence. We're not doing that because ultimately, if we were talking about that season, then Kim Fields was in the right. We're not doing that. But we are, how many, what are we, a decade from that? We shouldn't even be talking about that right now. That has nothing to do with anything right now. Cut it out. Okay? Ciao. Y'all, I'm sorry. I do not play about Kim Fields. I don't. I really don't. But I'm going to call a thing out here as it pertains to Kenya. Thank you, Claudette, for the super chat. So we do like Ralph this season or not? Maybe y'all do. Maybe y'all do, girl. So moving on from there, Marlo has the boys back. And Michael said that he missed her and they were happy to finally be home and take a shower in their own bathrooms and have their own beds. And she tells them that she will give them their iPhones back because she gave them flip phones, but she'll give them back, once she sees that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, making sure their schoolwork is done, making sure their rooms stay clean, doing their laundry, all of those things. make sure they miss being with her. And I believe that the oldest said something like, it's different. Being back is different, because, now he gets to be in his own bed and be in his own, take a bath in his own bathroom. And I was confused about that. I didn't know what any of that meant. Like, I was like, so are they happy to be back or not? Does it feel good to be back or not? Like, I was confused because it almost seems as if the boys were saying something different on camera and then Marlo is narrating for them. So I don't know what the fuck is going on, but all I do know is we're trying to make it seem as if Marlo isn't as shitty as she is. Got it. Thank you, Sharita, for the super chat. But don't the biological father have to sign off his parental rights for Ralph to adopt Josiah? Just asking, by the way, loving this live. I'm here for it all. Thank you so much. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he has to sign away his rights or not, in order for Ralph to adopt him. Because it didn't seem like it. It didn't seem as if he had to sign away his rights. It didn't seem that way, based off of what they said to us. But either way, the man is barely there. And it didn't seem like, based off of Ralph's conversation with Drew and her mother, that he said he didn't want him to do it. He just said he wanted a chance to be able to be a father. But it never sounded like the man said, no, don't adopt him. It never sounded like he said that. I feel like Ralph just doesn't want to. And so I can't believe anything that Ralph tells us based off his conversation with the daddy. I can't believe anything that he said. The daddy could have told him, I don't give a fuck. And Ralph could get up here on television and tell us the exact opposite, and we wouldn't know the difference. So yeah, I mean, Drew doesn't even know what the conversation entailed because she wasn't there. Ralph is sneaky and not to be trusted. So until the daddy come out and say otherwise, I don't believe anything Ralph has to say. I just don't. I figured that every state had different rights. That's why I said I don't know, because I don't live in Georgia, so I don't know, girl. And then, I believe they're from California originally, which will probably make it even more complicated. But child, who knows? Either way, Sheree and Drew decided to come together and put together a party for Kenya and Marlo. Now, they're the Aquariuses because their birthdays are like 12 days apart. Like, Marlo's birthday is February 7th, and I believe Kenya's birthday is January 24th, I believe. So, yeah, their birthdays are 12 days apart, but we decided to throw a party for everybody so that they could, make up with some type of intervention for them to stop fighting and arguing. Girl, nice try. Drew did all the work, and Sheree doesn't want to pay the $1,300 invoice that Drew gave her. So I understand that we can't always trust Drew and her husband as it pertains to paying for things. Like, we just kind of feel like we can't trust Drew and Ralph. So I can understand the invoice being, questioned. But when Sheree says that she gave her $1,000 and she wouldn't give her the $1,300, and I was just kind of like, you're walking around in like head to toe Gucci, $7,000 Louis Vuitton sweaters that you're probably renting, but still, with all of that, the $300 extra was really gonna put you in a bind. If you were willing to pay $1,000, make me understand why you weren't willing to pay $1,300. What? Like, it just kind of feels like Sheree is broke. It always feels like Sheree is trying to pretend as if she has more money than she actually does. That's what it feels like. Thank you, Stephanie, for the super chat. The boys were happy to be out of that cramped apartment to have their own space. That space just happened to be with Marlo. Ooh, thank you for the super chat. And thank you for clearing it up. Thank you for the super chat, boo. I'm so glad you made a platform to make these in-depth takes, because the fake love for kids and preying on single moms is real. Hashtag advantageous relations. Girl, thank you for that. And you ain't never lied, because we all know Marlo ain't shit for putting them 2 boys on top of the 4 she already had, which means them 2 boys was in there sharing beds with her kids. Yeah. Who knows what type of turmoil was going on in her household while you had the 2 boys staying there so that they could learn to switch out their phones and make sure they were doing their fucking laundry and their homework every day. You could have punished them at your house, but you had to go and flip them off on your sister who's over there struggling and working every time you call her. Who got a nigga named Buck at the house? What does Buck do? Does Buck do something for a living, or is Buck staying there? Is he a house daddy? Like, somebody tell us, because none of it feels like you should have dropped them kids off on her. Sound like her life hard enough, okay? Anyway, y'all, now she spent $1,000 on the fashion presentation. Girl, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Drew says Sheree don't pay. Then Sheree gets a call from her assistant saying that her pieces for her fashion show are incomplete, and some of the pieces she's not gonna like. Sheree then tells the girls that some of her pieces are stuck in Alaska, which sounds like a lie and doesn't make any sense. And then she tells us in a confessional she was working with 2 different distributors, and the first distributor had stuff stuck in Alaska, but this new one didn't. Sheree, I don't even fucking care. I don't. Kenya and Marlo show up there at the same time, but Kenya walked in before Marlo and then she shut the door behind her. Hilarious. Kenya wishes that, she didn't have to be there on the same day as Marlo. She wishes that the parties, were separate. Okay. Behind you, Mrs. Singh, Kenya, Sheree, and the assistant. Did I? Oh, okay, yeah. Sheree invites Kenya to her model auditions. Okay. Rewind, thank you. Rewind, her assistant, is there. She was very snippy. Okay. So Kenya shows up. And Kenya does the annoying thing that she does, which is take charge, okay? And she's like, why are we sitting this way? Why aren't we sitting that way? And Rewind was like, well, this is how I like to do it. Oh, so you like to do it wrong. Okay, so can you get us some chairs? Kenya was basically handing Rewind like, you're an assistant. Like, don't tell me how you do things. Do them how I'm telling you to do them. And I just kind of feel like I get where Kenya's coming from, but I also feel like, Kenya, I need for you not to care more than Sheree. If you see that that Sheree's energy is low, I need for you to sit back and let her fuck her shit up. Don't argue with Rewind. What you arguing with Rewind for? Let Rewind fuck her shit up. Okay? Then Kenya said, girl, you should have let me know. I could have got you some real models, okay? And Rewind was like, well, real models cost money. Letting you know that Sheree ain't got no fucking money, okay? And Kenya looks at Sheree like, girl, you need to pay it. Like, whatever it costs, you need to pay it. And she was like, girl, I already spent $1 million. She was obviously she was exaggerating the amount that she had spent. But obviously, you haven't spent enough because nothing has been done. Okay? They're seeing the models. Kenya was like, well, we don't have her contact information on the back of the photo. Rewind was like, well, no, actually, I don't even. She was like, put a picture information on the back of the photo. Thank you. And Rewind was like, okay, fine. If you need that to make you feel better. And she was like, it does. She was like, confetti. She was like, I was just kind of like, child, y'all better go back and forth. Okay, listen. Okay, because Rewind was more entertaining than Sheree. All right, now, got that out the way. Fast forward back to Sheree not having nothing ready for this fucking fashion show, talking about I paid $1 million. Okay, fine, girl. They invited Marlo's cousins and her family members. They invited Kenya's cousin to this party. And Marlo's cousin stands up and tells us that Marlo is a really good person and she's always there for her. And she always says she wishes that she and Kenya wouldn't fight. And then they wish them happy birthday. And Drew starts the intervention conversation. And Kenya says that she's given Marlo many chances. She's always calling Kenya a liar. Marlo says Kenya has cut her so many times and it hurts to the core. And to me, it seemed as if every time Kenya said something to Marlo, it was a response. There are people that Kenya came for with no prompting. But I'm going to tell you, most of the time that they showed Kenya and Marlo, it felt like Kenya was responding to something that Marlo had said. Okay? There aren't many people that are worse than Kenya when it comes to this villain shit. Marlo is that girl. Marlo is worse than Kenya when it comes to being a fucking villain. And partially it's because she doesn't have the ability to read appropriately. So where a read might be harsh but true, Marlo has a read that's harsh, crass, and probably a lie. So yes, Marlo says, so they ask questions. The first one is, how do you respond if someone calls your man aggressive? And Sonya says something that, Sonya at first was trying to keep it cute, but because the game was, is it below the belt or not? You take a shot, child, who cares? It doesn't even matter what the game was. The questions were fucking messy and meant to start a fight like they always are. Sonya says, bitch, you wish you had a man like that. You wish you had a man that loved you like my man loved me. And Kenya just laughed. Kenya just laughed. I loved it. Honestly, I love Kenya's response because I feel like Kenya is doing this thing this season where she's literally choosing when she's going to give you a moment. I think sometimes Kenya is willing to argue with someone so she can give them the TV moment that they want from her. And then other times she's like, girl, I ain't giving you no fucking moment. You want one, but I ain't going to give it to you. So I'm just going to smile. Oh, thank you, Cameron. So I was tickled. I was tickled by Kenya not even responding to that shit. Drew asked what they would do if they planned a party with a friend and they were supposed to split the bill and they ditched. And Candy says, oh, well, that's easy. Call them out. And so, Sheree was like, listen, I'm planning the fashion show right now, okay? Kenya says, yeah, with a $7,000 sweater on. Sheree hands out specialized invitations with mini outfits. And they start asking how the fashion show is going. And she's invited 100 people. And she has missing pieces in Alaska. And Marlo is like, girl, it's just going to be a party at this point. She just wants to have a party. Candy, post and say that somebody needs to come and help Sheree. Okay, Candy, go ahead and post it. Child, Marlo won't be back in Candy good graces so damn bad. But I did enjoy seeing them all gang up on Sheree because it annoyed me that Sheree didn't want to pay for bitches' bright ideas when people were literally throwing get-togethers for Sheree's broke, pitiful, pathetic ass all season. All season, they having parties because you crying about a nigga in jail. They, you know what I'm saying? They throwing little get-togethers for you, and you couldn't even pay $1,300 for half of the party. And I know people were thinking that was a lot, but that's not a lot. I saw a DJ. There were catered food. There were drinks. There was a lot of decorations everywhere, and it's Real Housewives. Okay, if you're gonna pay $1,000, you could pay $1,300. That's stupid. Like, it's just stupid to me. Okay. Another thing that was stupid, the invitations. So those little bitty outfits that were in those invitations, were those the looks or were those just little mini outfits that you had in the invitations to be cute? Because I'm trying to understand how you can have little bitty versions of the clothing, but you couldn't have life-size versions of the clothing. Barbie clothes from Amazon. She got Barbie clothes from Amazon, put them in those little boxes, and then gave those in. So you had time to do that, but you didn't have time to get. You know what, Sheree? You want to fail, and we're gonna let you. We're gonna let you. We're gonna let you have a fashionless fashion show. How dreadful! How dreadful! That was definitely Bravo's 1,000. Y'all don't make them pay for trips. Y'all know they don't make them pay for trips and parties. That's not true, Mrs. Dimples. That's not true. Candy has said many a times that when they have certain events, they have parties, that shit get paid out their pocket. Okay? She has let y'all know that. Now, maybe when it's a trip, maybe if it's a trip, Bravo pays for it because Bravo also has to send camera crews. But little get-togethers at them people's houses? No. I bet you any money the housewives pay for those types of things. Okay? But anyway, child, even if they didn't, I still don't like Sheree. And she still don't be paying her bills. So let's go ahead and transition because I believe there were some tweets and some back and forth between Sheree and who? Sheree and Drew. If I can find it, child, let me go to the Peach Report daily. I know it's probably there. Oh, wait, no, this is OMG. Let me see. 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 Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Got it. Got it. It's gotten. It's gotten, girl. It's gotten. Hold up. All right. And then I'm going to have to get off of here, y'all, because I have shit to do. All right. So, okay. Drew SEDURE, the moment I realized I wasn't getting my money. Girl, stop. You were paid $1K to do the small get together, and anything over is on you. I'm not buying friendships. Are you not? Are you not? Okay, girl, stop lying. Even if you could buy friendships, you couldn't afford to, but that's not the point. So you wanted a cheap party like your cheap joggers? Girl, bye. Just like them cheap ass wigs you were wearing last season. Hashtag respect the OG. I'm tired of that respect the OG shit. I'ma just sit this right here. Drew, this was hilarious because in fact, all of these looks were terrible for Sheree. Sheree says bad hair days and bad wigs are two totally different things. I don't wear cheap wigs. Ma'am, you can call it whatever you want to, but it didn't look good. You can call it whatever you want to. You can call it whatever you want to call it, honey. But it did not look that good. Hold up. I believe that there was more. Is this it? No, this is not. That's Jen Shaw. Heavenly. Let me see. There's more. I believe there's more. Hold up, y'all. Let me see. Girl. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see. Okay. Got it. I knew I should have went to the Peach Report Daily first. Okay, y'all. I'm ready. Y'all ready? Okay, let's get back into it. Okay, so nothing cheap about Go Naked hair. Now you're just a cheap ass hater. Sheree says, girl, you know that hair was from last season. Oh, you know that hair from last season was not Go Naked. Dissy ass can't remember them horrible wigs she had on. Drew says, how do you know? You wasn't even there. Stalking. The world knows. When I came back, I didn't know who you were, but was told that you had cheap ass wigs, bad makeup, and wore fake clothes. I'm glad you're able to rent a real designer pieces. Wow. She's renting like you. I'm so glad the world can give you attention since you aren't receiving it at home. Oh wow, Sheree, are you receiving attention from Tyrone ignoring your phone calls? Okay. And blocking you on social media? Feels like you don't have anything to do at home but eat chips. But anyway, Drew says that's not one of my issues, but at least I have a husband. Yeah, you do. One that humiliates you, degrades you, makes you look stupid, makes you look weak, and disappears on you. And she says, hashtag I'll pass. And I'm like, girl, that is literally what Tyrone did to you. Tyrone humiliated you, ultimately got online and degraded you in the interview with Jasmine Brand. He made you look stupid. He made you look weak because you cried about it. And then at the end of this episode, you're going to go ahead and meet with Apollo. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But you know, that made you look even weaker. You're still crying about Tyrone to Apollo after Apollo tells you how these men dog women out when they're in jail and disappears on you. And did he not disappear on you and not show up? Okay. You have been really invested into my husband all season, but you need to worry about your new storyline. Hashtag fake Martell Hope TV personality. Oh, wow, Drew. Point check. Checkmate. We can end it right there, Sheree. We can end it right there, boo-boo. Okay. Forever, I'm that girl. Okay, Sheree. Girl, listen. If you were that girl, you wouldn't be out here fucking with Martell Holt. So with that being said, Sheree meets with Apollo. She wanted advice about Tyrone and she asked him to model for her. And then he says that Phaedra left him for dead. And I said, as she should. I'm sorry, but you treated Phaedra like shit before y'all broke up. And now you're upset because she didn't support you when you went to jail? I don't care, Apollo. I don't care. Didn't you have another woman that was holding you down the whole time? Why did you need her to be there? So she could bring your boys so that they go in prison and be traumatized so that they can see you? No. Back then, I feel like Phaedra was cold-blooded and she could have worked it out. I did feel like that. But ultimately, I feel like now at 34, that's that lady decision whether she wanted to have her children going back and forth to the jail to see their daddy or not. And if she didn't want that, then that was her prerogative. Now, something is wrong with Phaedra, and I still don't really like her. But ultimately, Apollo, you still ain't shit, and you're not gonna get us to feel bad for you talking about she left you for dead, as she should have. As she should have. And then he started talking about how these niggas in jail always trying to play somebody. So yeah, Sheree, you look dumb. You look dumb. And look, when you go to jail, the judge break y'all up. The fuck? Child, get away from me with this. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got. That's all I got. I was here too long. I love y'all so much, but your girl gotta go because I gotta go. I got 50 11 things to do. So I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and follow me on the website, BondyBlueShow.com. Okay. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day, and I will see y'all in the next. Peace out.